It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and let's have a look now at what's going on in Great Flinders football. Finals time has finally arrived, and Chris Prime joins me on the line. Primey, how are you, mate?
Good, Reeks.
That's the way. So no finals for you with the boots on this year, but you will have finals to worry about with the board in hand, I guess, for your youngsters.
Yes, like neither senior Tumby side made the finals, but we've got two junior ones in there. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we go.
Yep, you did finish on a high, and we'll get to that in a moment, your Tumby Bay Blues boys. But first of all, we need to talk Elliston Districts, who, well, they had to do a fair bit of work on Saturday to squeeze into finals contention in the A-grade competition, and Ramblers, gave them a bit of a lesson in the end. It was 11-11-77, the Magpies. Elliston Districts, 4-8-32. Couldn't quite get it done, the Roosters crew, but they've had a very good season, their first year in Great Flinders football.
Oh, look, they have, and I think even at three-quarter time, they were a chance still to get up with the win, and I think there's a little bit of claret starting to flow by the end of the game. The purple Guernseys had a little bit of a red stain on a couple of them. I don't think there was anything untoward, but I think there was just, a few clashes as the people going for the ball, and I've been talking to their trainers, and there's a few guys that are not that keen on wearing purple again.
Yeah, they bled for the cause, but yeah, the purple jumpers, of course, were a nod to Poochera's 100 years. They didn't quite make it in time for that game at Poochera, but they honoured them on the weekend regardless. But yes, it got away from them after three-quarter time. Only 3 goals down at three-quarter time. They had to win by plenty anyway, so even at that point, you would have probably thought finals were a bridge too far.
Yeah, look, I think so. And I think we said last week, Ramblers are a pretty handy side, and we thought they'd get up, and they did as we expected.
Yep. Raises them to third on the ladder. But the other game of interest as part of that was whether or not Cummins would get hold of Lock, and they didn't. Cougars won comfortably in the end, but certainly didn't blow them out of the water. 15-8-98 to the Roos, 9-9-63. So they claim that fourth position on the ladder and go through to the finals. That's Lock. Of course, Cougars undefeated. Yoey Wagner booting 8 goals. How many did he need for the ton?
I reckon he's on 90 now. He needs 10 more, so it would be a challenge. It might come down to grand final day to see if he can get over the line.
It could. But if they play the first final, win and go straight in, he might only have the 2 games to do it. So we'll see. But he booted 8 to be one of their best. The Pake boys, Green and Falciani, again, good for Cougars. But for Lock, Beards, they combined for 7, Trav booted 3, and A-Beard 4. Grokey, Heath, Tiller, and the Beards all named in the best there. So that's not a bad effort from Lock, and they'll go into the finals with a bit of confidence.
Oh, look, I think they've been playing some pretty good footy towards the end of the season, and they're just starting to show they're not just there to make up numbers. They want to have a fair dip at it. So
yep.
They'll push a couple of sides as they go.
Yep. Tumby, your boys finished the season on a high in the end against the old rival, the Saints, Air United, but it was a bit of a slog. It took you a while to get them off your back. You were comfortably up at half-time. They stormed back in that third quarter, but you managed to hold on and win 9-17-71 to 8-4-52. Pleased with the win to finish the year?
Oh, look, I think it was pleasing to win. Like 1 goal 13, in the second half didn't help. But look, I think the United will probably be disappointed because I think that sort of got away from them in the end. Like I think sitting on the sideline watching three-quarter time, there's that feel that they could, if they got that first one, they probably would have gone over the top. So they would have been disappointed. Some will be glad to have a win, but yeah, look, it wasn't any great highlight reel there in the second half, but as I said, Tumby kicking 1 goal 13 didn't help the cause, but they got over the line. So
no. All right, let's have a look at some of the other ladders. We know who the top 4 are in the A-grade, and we'll preview those matches in a moment. But first of all, in the reserves ladder, Ramblers finished on top undefeated. Cougars second on the ladder, 7-5. Elliston Districts in the B-grade will play finals in their first season, and Lock also finished 3rd and 4th respectively, Elliston Districts and Lock, with United Yolanda, Tumby Bay and Air United missing out on finals action in a pretty chock-a-block ladder there. There was only one game between third and sixth on the ladder. So not much in it, but that final series between those four clubs will be very interesting.
Well, it is because the two sides that played in our last grand final both missed the B grade finals this year. Lock got over the line against Cougars on the weekend to edge Yolanda out. That was pretty tight, and we were two kicks percentage behind Yolanda, so it was tight. And it'll be interesting from here. Like Ellison Districts, I think they'll give it a good shake, and obviously we've got Ramblers undefeated at the top.
Yeah. Top 15 rule I imagine in vogue for those sides that don't have teams in the A grade. Yeah,
I'm not exactly clear on the standing of the rules, but it was a top 15, and they had to play a certain number of games in the last two or three. It's always a challenge getting that right coming into finals.
Yeah. We have a look at the Senior Colts ladder, and it finished like this. Cummins Kapini on top. They had 11 wins and 1 loss for the year. Tumby 9-3, Air United 8-4, and Ramblers 6-6, missing the finals. Elliston Districts with 4 wins for the year. Lock also had 4 wins for the year, and United Yolanda didn't have a win for the year. But that top 4 there in the Senior Colts, your boys have had a good season. Tumby, I think, did you beat Cougars again in their only loss for the year recently?
A couple of games ago, we got over the top of Cougars, and I don't know if that was the right time to beat them, but the boys played well that week. But they will have their hands full against any of those other three sides. So it will be a pretty even competition in the Colt side.
Yep, I think so too. And in the minis, love this ladder. Tumby Bay 12-0. You'd be pleased with that.
I think Jeffo's got the boys running well there, so they'll be at training now.
That is as good as I've seen in terms of for and against too. In 12 games, this Tumby Bay side's conceded 48 points for the year. Unbelievable, that. Cougars second on the ladder, 12-2. United Yolanda 6-6. Ramblers 5 wins, 6 losses, and a draw to make the finals from Elliston Districts, and that draw could have been the difference between playing finals and not for Elliston Districts. So they were knocking on the door there. 4 wins, 7 losses, and the 1 draw. Lock 4-8, and the Saints didn't have a win at this grade. So again, we've got a reasonably tight final series there between those. Although your boys, Tumby Bay undefeated, will go in unbackable favourites.
Oh, you'd think so. The interesting thing there, I think Ramblers and Elliston had a draw earlier in the season, and I think in the junior Colts it was the winner went into the finals on Saturday, and it was 1-3 to 1-2.
Oh, wow. There you go.
So, they were 2 evenly matched sides throughout the year.
Very unlucky Elliston Districts to miss out. So, anyway, it is what it is, and that's the finals makeup. So, let's go to the A grade now and have a look at what's coming up this weekend. So, only the one match to be played this weekend, Primey, is that right?
Yes, at this stage we're only playing this Saturday.
Okay, and is it the second semi or the first semi that we're playing this week?
First semi this week.
Right, so the elimination, whoever loses, their season is over.
Correct.
All right, so we've got Ramblers taking on Lock. Where are they playing?
They're playing at Cummins.
Right, this interesting. Big ground, which will not be anything unusual for Lock, I wouldn't have thought.
Well, while it's not officially Ramblers' home game, because I think it's a Cougars final, it is obviously their home ground. So both sides will be used to playing on big ovals, so I don't think it'll make much of a difference. They'll both run the ball well, and I think the youngsters of Ramblers will push and push, but it'll be a case of if they can hold the beard boys.
Yes, that's going to be a big key for the Ramblers defenders, and they're a youngish side with a spattering of experienced players amongst them. Ramblers, still some pretty big names amongst them.
Oh, look, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of peddlers, and Cox has been playing well, and it's like any game. The midfield seems to drive it, and as I said, we've seen them throughout the year, and Ramblers just seem to be able to find a way of pushing sides and getting over the line. So it'll be hard to tip against them.
Yeah, they've certainly had a very good mind around. Maybe perhaps the surprise packet of the season. I remember thinking back to the start of the season, thinking that perhaps Ramblers were a chance of missing finals altogether, but they've certainly proved us wrong there. The last time these two sides met was back in round 8, by the way, and it was Ramblers that day, 8-10-58, defeating Lock, who were at home, 6-5-41. So not a lot in it that day, but you'll notice the scores there, low scoring, and if it's low scoring again, I think that'd suit Ramblers.
Well, I think that's their poor. I think last time they played those top sides, they have the ability to bottle it up and make it a bit of a scramble, and I think that's what they'll need. They won't want a real open, free-flowing game. So if they can do that, they'll back their defence in to win.
Yep. All right, in the reserves, this is an interesting one as well. We need to pay attention to this one because in the reserves, Elliston Districts will be going up. They will have a very interesting encounter against Lock. Also, obviously, this one will be played at Cummins, like they all will. But Elliston Districts, that Elliston home ground's a small little postage stamp. The big open spaces of Cummins Oval won't be any problem with Lock. The Lock boys will be down there. But who do you like in this one?
Oh, look, I think Elliston Districts will get over the line. Big, wide, open spaces and B-grade footballers do not go hand in hand.
Definitely not.
And I think probably one of the important things here will be how well Elliston have structured their B grade. And I mean that in a polite way.
Yep.
When your senior side can't make it, it's a case of getting those players available for B grade into a B grade side. So if they've done that right, I think they'll get over the line here.
Yep.
Because Lock obviously have got the A grade playing as well.
Yes, sure. In the senior Colts, the Saints, Air United, they'll take on Ramblers, who will be on their home deck. But the Saints have had a really good season at this grade and probably should win.
Oh, look, they should win. They've got a good key bunch of older players, and I think they'll get over the line by 7 or 8 goals.
And the Minis will kick the dew off the ground. It'll be the Eagles taking on Ramblers, who snuck into the finals in that last minor round match, as you said, but they weren't that far behind United Yolanda either, just one premiership point behind, so not much between these two sides.
Oh, look, I'd toss a coin on this one.
Yep.
And just to correct you, the Colts will kick off the junior. They kick off at 10 o'clock and the mini Colts follow. So.
Oh, thank you. I did not know that.
Yeah, no, we play senior Colts first and then play the junior Colts after. So
not a bad idea.
So all the games are 15 minutes early, like it's a 10 o'clock start for the Colts.
Is there a specific reason?
For the B grade.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, is there a specific reason you do that, Primey, or is it just something a little different, or what's the deal?
I cannot explain that one to you.
Yeah, go for it.
Look, I really don't. I don't understand why we don't play the junior Colts first. Maybe to let get the teenage boys out of bed earlier so if they can wake up. But yeah, look, it works well.
Well, I just as a layman looking into it, I'm just wondering if it's got anything to do with the amount of senior Colts boys who then go and play senior footy after that. It might give them a bit of a break, but I'm only guessing here. Just it's the first I've heard of it, so it's an interesting idea.
It's the only league I know that does it.
Yeah.
I've played in a couple, but yeah, look, it works. Like,
yep,
no one seems to care. Like, it means those with young families aren't always there at the start of the day. Like, they get a little bit more sleep in for those kids. But yeah, look, it is what it is. And I think we tried to change the grand final 2 years ago and had the mini Colts play first, and that just threw everyone. Like,
yeah,
it's the way the league runs, so we will leave it like that.
It is what it is. So as long as everyone knows what time they need to be there, that's all that matters at the end of the day. So good luck to everyone having a kick this weekend at Cummins Oval. And Primey, all the best to your boys in the senior Colts. We'll catch up with you again next week, mate.
No worries. Thanks, Reds.